Isaacson. Lamps is looking very, very comfortable at the moment. There's a little turn away shift. Reverse
This
elastic.
Lamps guy, no.
This
Lamps guy is
of a grand final. Worthy of winning this tournament, if I'm completely honest. Lamps just looks a different class in this grand final.
Should be like in the foxed out.
Comebacks and
He's spacing
the
himself
lower
out.
bracket and the run that we've seen from so many players. This isn't a Jockstand performance that we're seeing from lower bracket right now. We're seeing a Jockstand-esque performance from our winners bracket front of Lamps. Completely controlling the game, dominating possession, looking threatening every single time he goes forward. The skill moves are there, the passes are there, the player switching's there. Everything is there. And most importantly, the execution is there. It's great to have everything in the repertoire, but it's making all the pieces fit together. And that goal was a perfect example of it. So many skill moves, all used in the perfect moment at the perfect time to create the opportunity.
But I don't... The guy's not looking at someone who's going to come back.
Technical ability shown from Lamps. But Isaacson, now he needs to score. Now he needs to start.
Watch your ass poop.
Trying to get a foothold in this game at the moment because it looks like Lamps is
like
running away with this now.
Because this Lamps guy, everyone's voted on Lamps. Oh my god, look at that. Oh no.
That is going to be a fourth as well.
This guy's getting
Bruno Fernandes again making the run mark. And, I mean, I'm almost tempted to call it here. We're just not seeing enough from Isaacson right now. He's being torn apart at the moment.
Man, this
There's a tiger on the loose, and his name is Lamps. Four to the good.
Oh, he's a lamp. He's a lamp of FIFA. He's a lamp to FIFA.
This is the performance of the Apex Predator in the Xbox right now.
Look at the facial expression. 4-0 in, bro. Don't go near Lamps. He's gonna light you like a lamp.
Just makes it a little bit sweeter, isn't it? He's like, yeah,
don't go near lamp.
Instead, I'm just gonna continue.
Don't go near lamp and shit. You're gonna get shit on and pooped on like real bad.
Half-time whistle arriving.
Lamp. Look at lamp. Look at this movement, bro. No. Look at lamp. Look at. Oh my god.
Isaacson has not even had a shot, and he's had 28 possession of the ball.
Lamp
here making an absolute statement. Yeah, this is a statement. I questioned the first 15 minutes, but let's be honest, the first 45 has been absolutely perfect from that man.
What's your comment about that?
Good luck monkey behind him. He's shutting down a bit, like he's providing the luck that he wants. It's been absolutely phenomenal. We're straight away getting into the second half now.
Yeah, but the other guy is not really good.
For Isaacson, I mean, the question is now, is damage limitation. If he
no, but this dude is not lost the
look
game
towards that
in this
second leg.
tournament, you know.
I know
He
he had
hasn't
2 goals
lost
to try and claw
a
back, and
single
it looks a
game.
very different second leg, but he can't.
That's why everyone
repeat
like
what we've just seen in that first 45.
vouch for him.
Otherwise, we could be looking at a
Lamps is gonna win.
maybe
Like,
even
definitely
10
Lamps.
goals with how everything's gone so far.
Lamps good.
Lamps has been clinical
Yeah,
in front of goal. And again, maybe a
He's
chance.
on his
Directional
A
nutmeg
game.
doesn't get through, but Bruno Fernandes still has it. Neymar then 1v1 with the defender.
Bro.
Just left and right, little cricket as well. Reverse elastic.
Fuck, man.
Almost. And up for the strike for Ronaldo. To look for that good. Here is R9 in the front post, trying to get up for the header. Isaacson looks a little bit shell-shocked, and quite rightly so. As you can see in the player cam,
If you were to predict,
he really just hasn't been in the game so far. And he gives it away there as well, and this is a chance for another goal. R9 twist.
Yeah,
turns.
one.
Bam,
No,
thank you,
that's
Lamps.
counted
That's
one.
5.
Before you even say so,
Unbelievable dribbling.
I'm looking at 9.
Unbelievable composure.
I'm looking at 9.
And another unbelievable finish, to be honest with you.
9.
It's 5 to the good now.
No, 9.
in this game.
9. Like the other, you remember the last?
And we're not even at the hour mark. And there's another ball in behind here. Cristiano Ronaldo, unfortunately.
The guy did
for
10.
Lamps is gonna be
FBMS
called
decided to
back,
get 10, man. FBMS decided.
I mean, this has been a 5-star performance so far.
He did 10.
And I
man.
wonder
Like, he was
whether
like,
Isaacson has kind of already
let's make it sound.
accepted his fate a
loud.
little bit, because sometimes when you get so far in a tournament and it's been such a difficult run for
Second
you, you go, well, I've made
half.
top
Yeah,
2, this
that's
is what
true,
probably
man.
more than what I wanted to
Oh
achieve.
my god! I think
And then suddenly you come up against someone who's bashing in goals for fun. It's very hard to find that motivation,
It's
but
like
maybe,
second half and came back
okay,
and was like,
maybe there's something still here. But call me crazy.
1.
But that goal is
I'm
going
still
to be
looking at
massive
9,
potentially in the outcome of this tie. It's 5-1, yes.
Yes.
But we know that Isaacson has goals in his repertoire. If he can find another one, like I mentioned, it's all about that aggregate score. Yeah, it's been dominant for Lampson. He's been absolutely amazing so far. But if the next goal goes to Isaacson, then all of a sudden, the complexion of this game completely changes. But for all of the praise I'm giving him for that goal, he has to keep it tight at the back now. I feel if he concedes another, then he's really in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, we heard earlier about the 5-goal deficit that was overturned by another competitor in the tournament, but that's not Isaacson.
I think
maybe he can also do something similar.
Revitalize himself.
It would be such a difficult
task,
and I just don't feel like Lamps is going to offer up enough to allow Isaacson to get that heavily back into the game. I think if Lamps starts to worry that Isaacson's having too many chances, that's when I feel like he'll probably set up shop a little bit and go slightly more defensive. But for now, he doesn't really need to.
Cancelo just runs that one out of play, and I'd like to see the formation, to be honest with you, that Lamps is running at the moment. I'm pretty sure he's playing the 4-5-1, which means that those wide midfielders are tracking those attacking runs from the fullbacks of Isaacson. It's kind of been a bit of a tactical masterclass so far. We'll have to see if that is the case, but that's my feeling. But now Isaacson stepping forward. Ronaldo tries to play that, but you can see just a little bit rushed in that attack.
I do think it's very important as a pro player to have a secondary formation or even a third that you can use to counter some of the more meta formations. And Isaacson is definitely playing some sort of meta formation that allows his fullbacks to attack so that you've got that width, so you've got that extra man overlapping. And you're completely right in that Lamps has been able to counter it so effectively.
James got on the end of that one. You can see that Cristiano Ronaldo was lurking over his shoulder looking for a sixth in this game that would potentially put this tie to bed. And here's Johan Cruyff, a little directional nutmeg from him. Fernandez just waiting for that overlapping run, but a big challenge will put the ball out of play. And not only that, it will win Lamps the ball as well.
Only 15 minutes left in this first leg, and I feel like there is still another goal in it. Maybe just the one, but I don't really know which way it's going to go. Even though Lamps has looked the more confident going forward, Isaacson has shown enough to demonstrate that he can get a goal on the counter-attack, and it is very much on the counter-attack with how dominant Lamps has been with possession.
Yeah, it's
so this attack from Isaacson results in a goal. As you can see, once again, the fullbacks charging on.
It's the first
and
leg.
The second leg
see?
Will certainly be a lot more interesting than maybe the score is showing right now. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo looking to find that goal. Maybe he can be the one to produce a little bit of magic towards the end of this game. CR7 drag back from him.
Look at the gameplay.
Jones and Cristiano Ronaldo interchanging passes.
No!
Oh, and it's off the post. No! And just when you thought that was going to be the moment there for Isaacson, it was bad vibrations, not good vibrations, coming in from the upright.
What a chance that was, just to give him a little bit of belief going into this second leg. Sometimes you just feel like the game is against you. He's done everything right up to that point, but Neymar just not able to tuck it away. Does rescue the ball back, but the referee brings it back for a foul. Lamps will be extremely happy that that one's collided with the woodwork.
Massive chance, absolutely massive chance, and he did everything right. Maybe a little bit too much power. I mean, these are all hindsight questions that are being asked. You see Lamps now just taking his time, working the ball around. Last attack of the game, he wants to be his, but if that space is going to be presented, well, the way that Lamps has been attacking, you can see the confidence he has in that. He's not afraid of losing the ball and conceding with the score how it is. You're not too surprised either.
No, he feels comfortable at the moment. As I said, I feel like if that goal goes in, maybe in the next game we see Lamps play a little bit more defensive and hold on to the ball. But he's more than happy to keep looking for goals because he knows he can break down that defense. What a challenge that is to potentially give a chance, I was going to say, to Isaacson, but it's not, and it's going to be 5-1 after the first 90 minutes.
Lamps.
5-1. A huge performance from Lamps, the man on your screen, in that first leg, but now he's got to go and see this game out, and 4 goals the difference between the two players. We've seen Isaacson has the ability to go on a crazy run to put 3, 4, 5, 6 past people in the tournament already to date. So this is not done and dusted. But you have to say at half-time here, certainly an advantage heavily in the favour of Lamps.
Oh, heavily, like, is an understatement, if I'm completely honest, with how much he dominated that game. Sure, it was great that Isaacson was able to get a goal and arguably could have had 2, but I still feel like even at 5-2, Lamps looks very, very comfortable on the ball. He knows now how to break down Isaacson, and we're probably going to see some form of change from Isaacson's side in terms of formation, because Lamps seems to have found the perfect counter for it. Isaacson's not getting the same width, he's not having the same success with Cancelo and Pereira in those wing-back positions, and instead Lamps is being able to track those runs, win that ball back, dominate the possession, stretch Isaacson instead, and then expose him through the middle, and it's been a pleasure to watch with how he has been inside the box.
Yeah, I was just about to say, inside the box, he just looks so unpredictable. As we see the lineup of these two players and some of the goals that were the result of that first leg. As you see even here, the elastico, the turn, the finish, everything from Lamps was just absolutely sublime.
Yeah, just painting a picture every single time, and that's slightly unorthodox, going for the little dink, but recognizing that Cristiano Ronaldo can score in those positions. And it's the dribbling. The drag back wasn't an effective skill move for quite some time, but people and pros alike are starting to add it to their arsenal of skill moves, because it is still somewhat effective and you can catch people out. And then this was the one goal back for Isaacson. Nice footwork from him as well. He does still have what it takes in front of the goal. And well, what a different game it would have been if this had gone in.
Whoa, look at the bar.
It is from somewhat distance, just from the edge of the area, but I've seen Neymar tuck them away.
He's just smiling, man.
Yeah, 100%. I've seen Neymar put those in, especially against me a lot of times. But unfortunately, for Isaacson, that one didn't fall the right side of the post. It fell directly into the center of it, a bullseye on that upright. But the players are now ready for the second leg. I believe they're loading into the game, so we'll get back underway as soon as we can. And Isaacson with a job to do here. The question is, I think going back to something you said a little bit earlier, is there a counter now for how Lamps has approached that first half with the formation he's been playing for Isaacson?
It's maybe something for Isaacson, like, do you have a plan B? Have you got a way that instead of looking for this width you're creating with your wing backs, instead try and put a little bit more pressure in the midfield so you can be the one dominating possession, so you can put Lamps on the back foot, and then he has to bring out his defenders.
Well, R9's battling in the middle here. He goes for that directional nutmeg again. You saw the burst of acceleration from the big Brazilian. They didn't beat the man that time. And now a chance for Isaacson to get a little bit of possession here. Jones is going to fight that into the feet of Fernandez. He's almost going to find a beautiful through ball to Johan Cruyff, but cut out just at the last second.
Games, the finals between
and if we do see one of those balls get to Cruyff, Isaacson's finishing and general presence with Cruyff in particular, has been very good all day. I'm confident that if Isaacson's presented with chances, he will score them, but I feel like Lamps is going to be, well, of course, trying to restrict them, but successfully restricted throughout this game.
So Lamps, you can see, a little bit more deliberate in his build-up play here. Waiting for those passes to become available. Then when he gets here around 25, 30 yards out the goal, this is where he's so dangerous. The directional nutmeg almost gave him the space he was looking for there. Cancelo snapped back though, the acceleration, the pace on the Portuguese fullback enough to recover.
There is a very minimal difference between that kind of side shift directional nutmeg and wait a second. Oh, Ronaldo's made a fluff of that one. I was just saying there's a very minimal difference between the kind of sideways directional nutmeg and that directional nutmeg you see them just burst with pace. And all it takes is a slight slip on the analog stick. And I feel like that one, if it had gone the right way, that could have been a goal. And right at the other end, Isaacson could have almost had a goal as well.
Just out of the reach, he felt, of Cristiano Ronaldo there. He got a pinky toe on it. The toenails would have been left to grow a few more centimeters, maybe that would have been all that was needed to find that goal to get him back into the game. But for Lamps, again, the plan is working perfectly at this point.
Yeah.
Hasn't conceded. And if it stays like that, he will be the champion here. And maybe a chance here to make it another. And it's going to be 6-1 here. Bruno Fernandez has been the standout player, in my opinion, for Lamps. And he's the player to give him that 5-goal cushion back.
But there's a lot of times that you look at some of these in-game items and you say, are they worth the coins? I think Bruno Fernandez is, and has very much demonstrated that here for Lamps today. A 5-goal lead, 6-1 on aggregate, and I wonder now whether this is just a little bit too much for Isaacson. If he had got the opening goal and made it just a 3-goal deficit, I would have been saying, all right, game on. But Lamps has demonstrated great patience, great defensive ability, and of course, the ability to score when he's presented with that chance.
Maybe a chance to play that ball through to Neymar, still making that run, but I think one thing that's a takeaway for me is, yes, Lamps has been phenomenal in and around the 18-yard box, but tactically, I really think he's just outthought his opponent here in his approach to the game.
Yeah, I feel like he's been watching on. He's seen how Isaacson is going to be playing, how he's going to be looking to utilise those wing-backs. He says, okay, well, what's the best counter? How do I stop those full-backs from having all that space? I need someone to be tracking those runs, and by having players with width himself, so he's got the goals.
Well, here's your own Cruyff, maybe like that's Elastico, boy, in just a moment
Wow.
of time.
Is that Lamps?
No, that's not allowed.
James knows how valuable time is, as now we see a short corner routine almost produce the results he was looking for. Neymar now keeping that pressure on another short corner. Bridge around the corner, back to Kyle Walker, maybe not the man you want in and around the edge of the box, and a strong tackle by Curtis Jones.
And this is where we see so many goals in your average game of FIFA, countering from the corner when all the defenders are pressed up the pitch. Lamp's not particularly interested in going for a super quick counter-attack. He knows that he still probably wants to kill a bit of time.
The double tap pass as well, almost found R9. Trying to sneak behind the defender is Bruno Fernandes. It's all the way back here to João Cancelo, and 15 minutes to half time here, Dan. And once again, Lamps is getting has been superb, but that could change here with the last attack. One of the last attacks, I should say.
This guy,
Unfortunately, can't control it.
Yeah, can't bring the ball down, doesn't have the chance to even look to attack. And Lamps not quite dominating the game in terms of possession like he did in the first leg.
Yeah.
Isaacson's definitely had more of the ball.
Yeah, but he's not scoring. He's not converting into goals.
Jones steps in again for Lamps. Any kind of opportunity to win the ball back, he is taking with aplomb. And now you can see that Rashford is in behind James. James is trying to recover.
See.
Rashford,
Oh, shit.
James, and this time, it's going to be Lamps. He strikes the woodwork here. And a massive chance for Rashford. He did so well to hold off the attentions of Reece James, but just not enough to make it two.
I mean, if the game wasn't already won, that was a guarantee of a victory and being the champion of this North American qualifier. There's still a little bit of time, and there's always going to be that little seed of doubt in the back of your mind that says, well, I mean, I guess I have seen these positions thrown away, but it's looking
Ronaldo goes down in the box there, and I tell you what, I've seen those.
Oh, God.
Tackle from behind from James, but
shit, that was...
that he got enough of the ball. Now Lamps keeps his concentration, keeps on moving forward, tries to play that ball in behind the defender, and almost was successful in doing so.
Okay, Lamps.
And I have to say, I will give so much credit for Isaacson. When you look at the team that he has and what he's achieved and even getting to this final is astonishing and really is demonstrating what a player he is amongst these.
This guy, his problem is he doesn't shoot on time.
Some people would say OP teams, but he's just got standard Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, okay, he's got Cruyff. It's still an expensive team. It's not quite the gold squad that we see amongst other players, but halftime whistle is called. And Lamps very much in the lead and very much dominating this game, Mark.
Yeah, one hand on the trophy, almost 1.5 hands on the trophy at this point. If that's actually a thing, that's more of a strange kind of sentence that might string together, but it's getting closer. 45 minutes to go here, and my issue for Isaacson is that he hasn't had an answer so far. There hasn't been a sustained period of pressure in this game for him. He hasn't created many chances across not only this game where he's been chasing it, but in the first 90 as well. I can't see him creating 4 or 5 clear opportunities to win this thing or send it to extra time.
Yeah, I think that's the honest truth. As much as a commentator, I'd love to say, well, yeah, you know, Isaacson is so good going forward. He's definitely got an opportunity here. I think Lamps has had his number throughout the majority of this game and has just restricted Isaacson from being able to play the free-flowing FIFA that he is so good at. Lamps has had an answer. He's dominated the midfield. He's dominated the possession. He's He's not allowing those wing backs to press up the pitch and just have fun to run into space like he had done earlier. Lamps now is 45 minutes away from being our champion.
So 45 minutes to go, so he can call himself a champion of the region, North American, qualified number 3. Lamps' name will be there in history, but for Isaacson, a chance to make a bit of history here, to perform something that not many players have managed to pull off in any regular game of FIFA, let alone a final of this stature against a player of this ability. But winning the ball back early on in the second half gives him the chance to at least stride forward first.
We'll find a little bit of space here for Cancelo. He's not the player you want to be shooting with, and that is always the downside, I feel, of playing any formation which utilises aggressive fullbacks, is you need to have some that actually can shoot when they get through a goal. And that's why in the 5-3-2, for example, we see some people playing the likes of Mbappe at fullback or Alphonso Davies Team of the Year at fullback, because they can actually shoot. Whereas this 86 rated Cancelo, maybe not necessarily someone who's going to be that good in front of goal.
Fernandez gets that ball around the corner here. Bridge from Neymar, attacks that byline, whips it in again. Lamps maybe looking for the head of Cristiano Ronaldo once more. Jones now steps forward, pick the ball up off his English compatriot Marcus Rashford. Fernandez, who has been absolutely superb, and he's looking to once again trouble the goalkeeper. And trouble him he did, corner hit, whipped him towards that near post, cleared away.
For Isaacson, even though it's been an amazing tournament, he won't want to go out with a whimper. So I'd like to see him, you know, press forward as much as possible, score a couple of goals just to show us what he's made of here. He hasn't really been able to achieve what he did in earlier games.
Here's Ronaldo, fake shot, tried to play it back to Cruyff, but once again the player switching from Lamps has been absolutely superb in those difficult situations inside the box. Rashford now trying to get away. There's that bridge, just bullied off the ball though by Kyle Walker.
When I'm looking back at previous results from Isaacson, he hasn't been conceded this many goals. I mean, even throughout all the qualifiers, he didn't get beaten this badly. He's always been able to score kind of like 3-4 goals. He's been restricted to just
nice ass moves from this dude.
Really what we're used to seeing from Isaacson, and that makes this performance even better from Lamps. Not only has he been finding those goals, but defensively, he's not allowed Isaacson to break through at all.
Yeah, I mean, conceding 1 goal at this point in this long, a period of time on FIFA against a player who's been free-flowing and scoring for fun at times is absolutely phenomenal from him. But still time to go for him to close this one out. It's been a consummate professional performance from him up until this point. But for Isaacson, maybe a chance to strike it here, but sometimes you can see the reaction from Isaacson there. He's got it all wrong. And that's going to hurt when you get that kind of opportunity and you make that kind of mistake. It kind of sums up this final for him.
It does indeed, and it's one of those ones where you just look at it and say, oh, well, I mean, what else can I do? Thought I'd done enough, maybe could have got a second goal here. Potentially made a game of this final, but Lamps has been very impressive in this second leg. He hasn't overdone it with his attack. He hasn't looked to just, go for goal and pummel Isaacson into the ground. Instead, it's been an experienced performance. It's a performance that I think shows that this is someone who really wants to win a tournament.
Fernandez, who else but Bruno Fernandez to add to what is already looking like an insurmountable lead here for Lamps. He's been the star.
Is that guy trying to run or what?
And he's been doing it all from the
He want to run on the FIFA live stream like
that feels like the
great quits. Run. I'll be looking for a place right now like what the what the effing fuck? Dude, at least you've been shitted. You have to like get pooped until in entirety. Total supply of poop. You have to get a total supply of poop straight, bro.
71 rated Gilmore, 80 rated Mason Mount. I think Lamps is confident that he's going to win this game.
Yeah, as a Chelsea fan as well, bringing Mount on makes sense. It's like what we used to see Tex doing, right? He used to bring on the Liverpool players when he knew the game was over. What I was saying is if you want to know a way to combat these players who utilise their wing-backs so effectively in 5-3-2s or 4-1, whatever, this 4-5-1 has worked perfectly for Lamps.
Fernandez can't produce the goods that are desperately needed here for Isaacson. 12 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Here's Hudson-Odoi on that left-hand side, going up against Carl Walker. I'm sure those two have had to battles in England training on the real pitch, and now they're having one on the virtual pitch as well. But this is just a victory parade at this point for Lamps. You can see the players he's brought on. He just wants to make a point here. He knows that he feels it's done.
Even though Isaacson has taken down some giants in this tournament, leading up to today, the likes of Goal Machine, for example, Lamps just seems to have been one
Isaac not looking so good, you know.
Extra bit of class has been demonstrated by Lamps, and I wonder whether this is
He's like
someone for the future,
so
for
pissed.
not just North American FIFA, but global FIFA.
The Lamps is cracked, like on his end, he's cracked. Trust me, he's in fun.
Couldn't make anything of. Here goes Hudson-Odoi on that left-hand side. Heavy touch out of his feet as well. Boron will win the corner. But you get the feeling that he wants to get one of these Chelsea boys on the score sheet.
I mean, that's what you want to achieve, of course. If you're going to bring anyone off the subs bench that isn't really a meta player, you know you're looking to make a statement, looking to have a little bit of a flashy performance towards the end of things. As for Isaacson, you can see he has given up at this point. He has admitted defeat. It's been a valiant tournament and a valiant performance, but ultimately Lamps has just been far superior in this grand final.
Yeah, this is the mercy rule coming in at this point in the game. It's 7-1 on aggregate. It's 2-0 in this game, and there's only really been one player in this grand finals. Commiserations to Isaacson, but at the end of the day, Lamps has got the job done. He will be your Xbox champion of the North American qualifier number 3. A phenomenal performance.
What a phenomenal guy.
He's deserved
What a
every
dude.
single bit of plaudits we've given him.
And it is about
Lamps.
time we've seen this youngster kind of rise to the top.
You're the man.
Was very, very young when he first came onto the scene, and some
You
people
are
really
the
were
man,
one of
Lamps.
the original Anders from the Atlas desk, because he was one of
see
those
you.
that just wasn't old enough to compete, but now he is, and he's been able to get a tournament victory, and I'm sure there'll be more to come.
And I love the reaction as well. Business as usual here for Lamps. No open celebration.
Yeah, Lamps is the guy we're talking about right here.
North America. He's the best in North America.
He's
at
the
this
best.
point on the
Like you
Xbox.
had.
He looks like he expected this to happen.
So
He did. He's so calm.
the dude
so
is confident
composed.
and, you know, so calm.
It was very
you know.
difficult to call anything
So
other
calm
than a
and
last
confident.
victory after what he did in the early stages of that game. It was goals upon goals. He dominated.
He's a
from
good player.
the first minute to the last.
Lamps.
He deserved this.
It's time for us
He's
to
a
go for
lamp
on
of
the
FIFA
outside.
right now. This dude right here.
One-sided grand final here, but the man on your
He's the
screen, Lamps,
lamp
is your Xbox champion.
to FIFA. He's a guy with a great future ahead of him. Congrats, Lamps. Congratulations on the win. And yeah, right here, this is what I call it a day. That's been a great one. Right here in the BitSport studio. It's been a great one. Lamps won. You know, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, he's like, I mean, he's what it. Alright, so we call it a day for today. Thank you guys. Thank you for staying tuned in with us. God bless you all. Have a nice day.